Good afternoon, everybody. It's Tammy, and I want to talk to you a little bit about the next book study for spiritual law. Starting September 25th, which is a Saturday morning at 9 a.m., we will be starting another round of spiritual law on Zoom. I suggest that you join our Facebook page. It is called Shining Light on Spiritual Laws, a study, and all of the content will be shared there as far as how to connect with us for the private messenger group as well. Another thing too is what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to read the introduction so that you get a chance to be inspired, see if it's something that you want to do. So FYI, it goes for about 10 weeks, and we are doing a few chapters in the book. On the Facebook group, there is a free PDF. It does help if you get a hold of the book, tangible book, but it's not necessary if you are okay with an online PDF. You will find that once you get to the Facebook group, you'll find it in the announcements. There is a free PDF. So, life on Earth is a team game. It is vital to learn the rules so that you can participate and make your contribution. A game of soccer would become a free-for-all if everyone did their own thing. So players are taught the rules before they go onto the field. In the same way, we are taught the spiritual laws before we are born. So really, this isn't something that you were taught or that we were taught once we were incarnated. This is something that we know is true. And when you start studying these 36 laws, you'll feel how right they feel. When you understand and follow the spiritual laws, you can create heaven on earth. Right now, super crucial to understand spiritual laws. It's about autonomy, getting your energy back into your own body. We are too much outside of our own personal space, and we are affected by everything that is bouncing off of us, especially in the news, our friends and family, and you're starting to see a little bit of divide happening. Who will you serve? Life on earth has turned into a free-for-all because people have forgotten about spiritual laws, or they just choose to disregard them. This book offers reminders and an understanding of the spiritual laws. For thousands of years, humans have played the game like a rabble of children. Relationships have been based on need and desire for control. Success measured by material gain and possessions. He who dies with the most toys wins. Okay, so predominantly emotions have been anger, hurt, fear, because people have been focused on physical and sexual sensations. And right now, as everybody is experiencing all this chaos and discombobulated content, confusion is setting in. And what's happening is our inner child is feeling the feelings of insecurity and a lack of safety. That's why spiritual laws is really important right now. When people take themselves too seriously, they are critical and judgmental of themselves and others. One thing I've noticed right now is a lot of projection. There is a law of projection. Once you see what the truth is, and the roots of why we blame, shame, and guilt others, We actually have stepped out of our own sovereignty. We have given our power away. These are things that if we don't get back within our own energy, that we will feel a sense of loss and fear. And all I can say is, studying the spiritual laws, this is our third round. And the more I get involved with remembering the spiritual laws, the safer in the world I feel. Many feel tense and out of control. Often people feel they have to justify their existence or prove their superiority so that life becomes a power struggle and disharmony prevails. When you think of the ego, whether that's conscious or unconscious, that is technically what the religious groups would call sin. That is an old paradigm for life on earth. It is time for change. That's the only thing we're guaranteed is change. So divine discontent is entering people's hearts. Another thing with spirit groups, we learn how to connect. We learn how to become a small community. And we are more connected to our hearts than our minds. The mass consciousness on earth is changing so that people are no longer satisfied with need and greed. We're really starting to see the sense of connection. I mean, I truthfully believe that we are on that cusp. This really helps to remind your body, mind, and spirit that you are safe. You have been here many times before. The fact that you're even drawn to spiritual law tells me that you're ready. We want a better way of living. To achieve this, we are asked to learn these rules. We're to work together and clean up our game. We are preparing for promotion to a higher league. So collectively, we are in a process of moving to a higher dimension. Old habits and unresolved issues are surfacing so that we can be examined and released to make way for the new. Social structures are beginning to collapse. We're seeing proof of that. State and federal government, monarchies, corruptions, banks, and all dinosaur institutions are moving towards change or extinctions. Think of all the CEOs that are stepping down right now, all of the nurses and people that have been doing things the way they've been shown to do, and it's now starting to feel like an imbalance in their body, mind, and spirit. And they're starting to recognize that our souls are being called to greater things. Some wars are similar to boils. Think of how the body is a extension of our mind and of our soul and our spirit and our heart, and our bodies show us in their way of communication, which is disease, illness, and disorders. Anger has festered into hostility and is coming to the surface to be cleared out. Many now, through hard work, cooperation, and discipline, have reached the top league. They are playing in the cup finals with the eyes of the world on them and providing inspiration for all. When you reach this level, do not worry about those still disregarding the rules. That means drive your own car and stay in your own lane. Don't worry about what's happening outside. If you know the truth and you are clear on what is right for you, and you follow the inspired direction that calls you, whether that's to say yes or to say no. Be an example of how this game is played. When we follow the spiritual laws, we are able to reach enlightenment. We experience a feeling of oneness and live in love, compassion, and trust. Deep trust. We become masters, following our own guidance and not allowing ourselves to be deflected by anyone else. Our greatest joy is to serve humanity and the universe. This is heaven on earth. It is now. Life becomes joyous, peaceful, and harmony comes into our personal space when we cooperate with and empower others. We let go of our ego desires, which is, like I say, in religious terms, sin. And we live for the divine. This is heaven on earth. Earth is a plane of free will. We can choose whether or not to follow the laws. However, we reap the rewards if we do and bear the consequences if we don't. People often ask how much free will we actually have and how much is inevitable. Your higher self makes certain decisions before you come to earth. Your soul makes these choices based on the experiences you need for your progress. You may choose to be born to difficult parents because they embody the challenge your soul needs. So this is how we learn not to blame, shame, or guilt our stories, our inner child. We learn how to forgive and accept and just be one with knowing that it has prepared us for this moment. While you might reject this as ludicrous, your soul views your life from a greater perspective. You may meet the person you will marry because you have a karma to repay or because you have earned the right to happiness together. You may have a child who dies because your soul needs to experience loss. Your life may be totally disrupted at any age by unexpected events. We all have fragmented parts of us. One of the key things is in the healing and clearing out the debris that holds us stagnant from moving forward. And the trick for that is to recognize each and every trigger. When you recognize your triggers, you recognize a part of you that is still affected, that is still hurt, that is still needing more love, not less. These are pre-life decisions which are inevitable. But you have free will about how you handle each of these circumstances and can make decisions about everything else in your life. It's like buying a round-the-world ticket. There are certain stopovers and pre-booked flights that you agree upon before you set off. What you do the rest of the time is up to you. As you follow the spiritual laws and raise your game, your mission here is revealed to you. When you have a vision of what you intend to accomplish during your journey on earth, you clarify your purpose. We are preparing for a mass awakening of human consciousness. A quantum leap is about to take place. 1 in every 10 million years, there is a moment of stillness, a moment of total silence in the universe. At that moment, changes take place that are beyond our comprehension. We have absolutely no concept of the enormity what awaits us at that moment. The calendar does not foresee what would happen after a great awakening. In the entire history of the planet, there has never been an opportunity like this for spiritual growth, and your task is to prepare yourself and be ready to take that leap. Stop wandering around the maze in life, in confusion and fear. It is time now to walk confidently and purposefully into a new arena. In this book, we are offering you a simple guide to take you from a novice player to a top player. And a little light on spiritual laws will enable you to master life. So I really hope that you're excited to join us on September 25th. Please let me know, private message me, and I can get you started with the spiritual assessment, and you can get on board, and I am looking forward to another round of spiritual law, and I can't wait to meet you.